morning and welcome to another writing vlog. Today is an errand day, so I'm about to run a bunch of errands for the coffee shop, and while I am in the city area, for those of you who don't know, I live in the countryside and it's lacking. We're a little scatterbrained. We're just trying to get all the errands done because I have personal errands and then I have coffee shop errands, and it's for like Halloween, Christmas for the coffee shop stuff coming up, and then all the personal errands like for my dog and stuff. So the coffee shop is closed, but I'm still working. It's a work day. It's just like a non-traditional work day, and especially when I work on Saturdays, it just throws off my entire sense of the world. Finally broke 30,000 words, so that's really exciting. It feels like my writing has been dragging a little bit, but again, I had that big break for plotting Act 2, replotting, adding some subplots, so it makes sense. And I still have a lot to go in my story, so I can easily see myself getting to that 50K first draft word count that I've set, that word count goal. As I continue to write this first draft, I keep finding little checklist items to research and fill in, and it's this weird sense that like as I'm writing, I feel how hollow the draft is at points in certain chapters, but I also need to remember that this is the first draft and it's okay. It's weird. I think I'm starting to get a little bit more paranoid about my first draft as I feel myself getting closer to the end of the first draft. Like, yes, I do still have a bunch of things to write, but now that I have that like pretty solid checklist, it's nerve-wracking and I feel the imposter syndrome creeping in a little bit more. So I'm curious what you guys do. Maybe it is just like putting those blinders back on and putting your head down and writing. It's a little strange because I haven't really experienced this yet with this draft, with this whip. So this is the first like big bout of imposter syndrome that I'm having. I just thought reaching 30,000 would be a little bit more exciting, but it has slowly been creeping by. I feel like I normally don't have as much light in my videos. Crazy. The coffee shop had some unexpected stuff, so I was at the coffee shop for a much larger chunk of my day than I thought I was going to be. And some of that is getting ready for the local trunk or treat. Kids like don't do normal trick or treat anymore, which kind of makes me sad, but I don't have a kid, so I don't know what it's like. So last year we just handed out candy and we were open and we made drinks. So this year I just want to add a few more interactive things, especially because the weather has finally turned and it's cold. So last year it was really cold, so that brought a lot of people in. I feel like trick-or-treating used to be like a couple-hour thing, and now that it's mostly trunk or treats, it's like 30 minutes. So if I open up my coffee shop after hours, then why not extend that family time? Because that's what this holiday is. Like, you're spending time either with your friends or with your family dressing up in costume and getting candy. I was doing that. I really want to do like a Christmas market, and I've never done any sort of market coordination in life. I also have been looking for like a wholesale baker. If I want to have the time to write a book and stay sane and not get super burnt out, then I don't want to be up at 4 or 5 a.m. every day to bake things for my coffee shop. In some ideal fantasy, yes, but I do have other dreams, and the author dream was a bigger dream. I haven't talked about how the coffee shop came to be, but it's a winding, long story, and writing and at least attempting to be an author is very important to me. So there's some balance there. Okay, so that's a lot of, I feel like I've never talked about the coffee shop to that extent on here before. But during that time, I also got to thinking about imposter syndrome and writing. I think I am especially feeling the imposter syndrome right now because I'm in new territory, and I think I'm just uncomfortable. If you watch some of my other videos, you've heard me talk about how I have never finished a full manuscript. I've never finished a full novel, and that is because I always get stuck on the middle part. Like I can always clearly see the beginning and the end of my books, but I've always had trouble thinking about like the big twist there. And in the earlier days, I think I struggled because I wasn't a plotter, I didn't know about story structure, and I had no idea what subplots were. If that sounds like you, please go check out this video workshop that I put together that also gives good references. I think I am feeling this like imposter syndrome because I am uncomfortable. I'm in new territory, and the first time you do anything new, you're gonna feel like an imposter because it's the first time you're doing it, so you don't necessarily know what you're doing, but that does not mean that you are not capable of figuring out and doing it and getting better, especially with something like writing a book, because there's multiple drafts for you to work through, and you're doing so much writer that inevitably you are going to become a better writer as you are writing this book. Alright, we're post-writing session. Did not end up using writing sprints, really just needed to just sit my butt down in the chair and write. Ended up with 875 words in about an hour. There are definitely a couple scenes that I think I'm just gonna have to like push through, and I'm gonna need to set like a very high word count for myself, I think. Hi, puppy dog. It's been a while. Act like you haven't seen me. Please? This is what it's like having an Aussie, if you've ever wondered. As I was saying, I think I'm just gonna have to set a word count, set like a challenge, do some kind of writing challenge, 12-hour writing challenge, 10,000 word day or something to just push through like a chunk of chapters. I just think eventually they'll be good, but just initially writing them is just gonna be a little bit of a struggle. It's just gonna suck a little bit until I really figure them out, and I think I'm just gonna have to look at them, write them, look at them from a distance, and figure out what I'm trying to do. Sorry, my dog. But there is a huge section of chapters after that that I'm very excited to write, and I would just want to go to those, and like I kind of just want to skip to those, and I started working on one of those tonight. We'll see what writing challenge I decide to do to help me get through that chunk of chapters. So I think we're actually going to end this vlog here. If you guys are working on something, let me know how your project's going, what stage you're in, what's going well, what's not going well. Give me little updates. Until next time, cheers.